Welcome to Study Loop.
This question is asking about the best way to study the size and density of different bird populations on an island. And reading through our potential options, they mention life tables or mark and recapture as two potential methods to study this question. So, a little background on life tables. Life tables involve breaking a whole population down based on age and sex or gender, and looking at the basically demographics or structure of the population. How many of the individuals in the population are old? How many are male? How many are female? But it doesn't really relate to the total size of the population or density per se. The mark and recapture method, by contrast, is directly focused on determining the size and density of the population. So, based on that, we can eliminate the life tables as an option. So we know that it is not A or C, and we're narrowing it down to B or D. And it's asking basically the options differ. Population size can be determined by the mark and recapture method. That's correct. But are we supposed to divide the population size by the area of the island, or are we supposed to divide the area of the island by the population size? And density, when we think about units of density, it is just by convention uh, often presented as the number of animals per unit area. So you can think of something about 100 birds per square kilometer, or something like that. The inverse of that would be kind of nonsensical if you take the area um, and divide by the number of animals or birds. Then you're saying there's, the island has an area, has uh, a bird density of about 3 kilometers for every bird, 3 square kilometers per every bird or something. And that's presenting the same information, but it's kind of in a backwards and an illogical way. So the correct way to talk about the density of a population is animals per unit area, in this case, birds per square kilometer. So the answer corresponding to that is B, where you estimate the total number of animals and then divide by a unit area. So, just for a little bit more background, the mark and recapture method involves uh, capturing some animals and then marking them, for example, with small tags on their legs, and then uh, returning at a later time and recapturing as many animals as you can. And by seeing how many of them you've already caught, you can estimate the total size of the population. For example, if you capture 100 birds on the island initially and then tag all of them, and if you come back later and you catch 100 more birds and all of them are already tagged, that essentially means that there's only the 100 birds on the island. But if you say capture 100 more birds and 50 of them are marked and 50 of them are unmarked, that means that in your initial study you probably only caught half of the birds. So you can estimate that maybe there's about 200 birds on this island. um, so again, the correct answer to this question is B, mark and recapture and divide the number of birds, um, or the population size by the area of